Alright, hello everyone, sorry for that delay. Here for the next game, Galaxy versus Nebula. My apologies again, we were running a bit late on that Kangarillas versus Flare match. Or rather, it started mostly on time, but there was, I think, 10 minutes after the fact, and we had a server change, there were a couple tech issues, you know how it goes. But it was an exciting matchup. So yeah, hence the little delay on my part, though, just getting all set up, but we're good to go. So match about to be underway here. Teams have in fact readied up. No harm, no foul. See Chucky Joseph in there. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, all right, here we go, ladies and gents. So launched out first here. Nebula seeing if they can retain it off this wall. They're going to get that one. Faircar. Faircar looking to be contested by Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth getting the disc after knocking some brains a little bit loose there, but an intercept by Cyanide will go to the other side. And you don't have to call me Mr. Host. I'm just Mr. Palidore, or just Palidore, or Pally, or anything. Wow, just squeezing right through that stack, manages to find that deep clear into the bubble. It'll be retained here by Late Toast. Late Toast getting stunned. Sweet Tooth though cleaning up, dishing a good pass over there for the one-on-one. Chocolate gets it. And that's the first couple points for Nebula. Mr. Door also works. Many a things you can call me. Not saying I love all of them, but you can call me him. Now over here though, Death Creeps, Cyanide trying to roll out for their team. As Cyanide has Faircar just in his flank and now kind of passing by. Interesting, leaving one deep in the goal there, and the stack just able to get back. And this is going to be a problem for Galaxy, no doubt, because Nebula is, in fact, one of the faster stacks in the region. Very, very quick on their feet, or I guess more accurately, quick on their hands. Against many teams, they'll just blaze on through with pure speed to buy them extra points and possessions all the time. So launching out, going towards that wedge there, getting stunned. Lots of stuns going through right now as Late Toast tries to contest this. Faircar coming through. A good pass over to Death Creeps. So Death Creeps will work it up the floor, find a soft bounce to Faircar's hands. He'll back it out patiently. Some nice plays there. Getting it for another nice pass into a goal. One-on-one, head-on with the goalie, and Death Creeps gets it on through. Good to see Death Creeps playing here and being on a team. He's one of the players that I first kind of had contact with in the preseason. Did a few coaching scrims with him included in it. When we were doing those coaching scrims as Eclipse. And Death Creeps is always one of the standouts. You know, he had a good attitude. He had good skills offensively. Just good heady plays. But look at that one, an anchored shot from Sweet Tooth. Maybe thought there was a goalie, so he had to anchor it down for a fast one. Didn't need to, but just the same. Got the results. Thunder Queen 57 also stopping by. Feel the thunder as Galaxy rolls out, and it is no wonder that people think I'm a dork with my silly rhymes. But over here goes the Kaznaz finding a pass over to Chocolate. One in the goal, one Death Creeps creeping around waiting. And I don't even know what happened there. Odd interaction, doesn't matter. Sweet Tooth going in for some offensive traction. Couldn't get it either. Back to the side wall. Late Toast taking position for a passing play, perhaps trying to communicate that to his teammate, but gets stunned out instead, and that is the fate. But look, right down to Chocolate now. So good recognition from on that pass, and Kaznaz going in. Oh, whoa, the slowest goal in the world will roll in from 1 meter at 2 meters per second. So the stun's going out from the defense, but still just barely wiggles it through. Unfortunate turnaround on what otherwise was a good defensive stand. So Galaxy here on the offensive end, rolling out again. So Phlegm Enthusiasts, that is one of the more interesting names I've ever seen, as Death Creeps goes in for a play. Oh, just softly dings it off. Still gets its own rebound. Couldn't find the goal, and now rebound by Sweet Tooth. That was a good opportunity, just couldn't quite convert, and that'll happen sometimes. But what they do try and make it up for with is that speed. They got there first, weren't able to quite nab the disc, but Good job on the speed department. Meanwhile, for Kaznaz and Nebula, they're just going to go in for a pass and get the two Sweet Tooth. with a sweet 2. It's 8-2 for Nebula. So obviously, Galaxy, one of those newer teams to the league, and as a whole, newer players too competitive. I mentioned in some of the previous casts, obviously Cyanide, the veteran. He's been there since the beta days. I remember interacting with him plenty. Good guy. Good to see him on a team. Admittedly, after a while, I kind of fell off the public game kind of scene. So there's a lot of those players that I know them, but at the same time, we haven't really had the chance to interact as much as we used to, which is unfortunate. My bad. But just the same, it's good to see Cyanide on a team trying to lead these young guns as Chocolate goes in for one. Talk about young guns. Well, Chocolate, another one of those newer players to the scene. Still with experience at the very least, though, in Pizza League Season 2. Then played in the VR Master League preseason, as well as obviously Season 1 here. So starting to build that portfolio, that resume of competitive play for Chocolate, but yeah, still newer in the grand scheme of things. That new generation of players, that's just always good to see here. So for Galaxy, like I said, it applies to a lot of these guys, and chemistry, it'll always take time, especially against teams that do have more veteran players on it, or more longtime players. Kaznaz, one of those ones, and again, Chocolate with at least a year or so of experience, if not more, but playing competitively. So I think for Galaxy, they're hanging in here, down by 8 points, just trying to contest with some strong defensive arms. Getting back now onto the defense, but there's the speed at play for Nebula. Nebula will go down for a great pass, just past the hands, maybe expecting a shot. Was the goalie, so instead just send it down to his teammate cutting. Got themselves the 12-2 lead here, and the first round, 3 minutes 27 remaining, and see if Galaxy can roll out here and find it on the other side of the floor. So that first pass is good, but the stun just couldn't quite work it around Kaznaz. Getting there in a timely fashion and taking it for some more. Oh, just stealing it, in fact. Looked like Sweet Tooth deciding to take the goal for himself. Looked like down there they were maybe joking about it a little bit. That was interesting. We just saw one of those in that Flare match, Flare versus King Gorillas on VRML Channel 1. Someone snagging that disc out of the teammate's hand inadvertently, but yeah. It's funny when it happens, as long as you get the goal. If you don't get the goal, that's when you kind of yell at them a little bit, like, what was that, man? But Kaznaz just trying to maneuver around. Cyanide backs it out patiently to Late Toast over at the bow tie. Kaznaz at the Merc gets it through, but that's good defense up front by Death Creeps. Still manages to slip the pass through, however, so they're playing some tight defense up as that shot goes in. Anchored three-pointer, and Flem was in the goal. However, he was stunned, it looked like. So the coordination there from Nebula to find the points.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
So Galaxy on joust advantage again here. See how they roll out, and right there, they're going for the long passes. And sometimes with those longer passes, especially against speedy teams, I think for Galaxy it would be in their favor to vary it up with some more rollouts that are maybe shorter range, or you send one towards mid, send some up here towards the pack area, or one of these islands. You see some teams in both regions going for these orbital drop type rollouts where they go to the floor and pass it downwards. Basically, you want to try and spread out those enemy stacks. Don't give them a lot of time to get back to the front line. So if you're making those long passes on the rollout, like for Galaxy over here, where it takes a couple seconds to get to its intended target, that gives Nebula a lot of extra time to get there. And now some janky interaction, but Chocolate's still going to take away the disc, try and back it out, and find Kaznaz behind. And that's a good intercept there from Cyanide. Cyanide trying to get a leech, does so successfully, but Kaznaz still ultimately comes away with a grab. Right here, it's Sweet Tooth looking for maybe a head-on play with a goal just from the corner, but just taking it maybe a little too early on that one. Had a cutting teammate. So a little early on the shot, but still, they're feeling comfortable with the lead right now, so not too pressured necessarily, and going to go in for it here. Now Chocolate going off backboard again, but kind of the same case, taking these shots from the tough angles. Now obviously, again, Nebula does have the 17-2 lead. And now going up 19-2 on that shot. But yeah, maybe a little bit lax on their part, taking some of these tighter angles. You know, against any team, even without factoring in the goalie, it's just a tighter angle to make those shots to begin with sometimes. But then you factor in the goalies, you know, where the backboard does take some momentum off the disc. You want to go for those passes if you can. Right there, just going to snag it out of the air. It's 22 for Nebula as this round comes to a close. So still a strong start in the first here. Putting on 22. And just doing so largely based on that speedy play from Nebula that we saw and that kind of talk about being a factor in a lot of these games that we do see from their team. So leading the way it was Sweet Tooth with 9 points. So, you know, forgetting that backboard miss completely, still leading the way for his team. 1 assist as well as a steal and 12 stuns for him. For Late Toast, it's 2 points, 1 assist, and 3 stuns. Chocolate with 6 points, 4 assists, 1 save, and 11 stuns. And then Kaznaz with 5 points, 3 assists, 1 save, a steal, and 9 stuns. Over on Galaxy's side, couldn't put too much in the way of points on the board, just Death Creeps with a 2, and it was off that very nice passing play. Hope to see more of that from Galaxy, where you just get those little deliveries in front of the goal. You know, take those opportunities with the high percentage points. But he also came away with 1 save, 9 stuns. For Flem Enthusiast, a stun, Cyanide VR 12 stuns, and Faircar 16 with the assists and 3 stuns. So as we get this round, second round underway, Nebula feeling good with some momentum here. And again, in fact, let's go to their joust and just watch a little bit of that stack speed at play. Looks like they do opt for one of those delayed launches. Actually, I jinxed it. Commentators cursed it twice, in fact, as they missed the first 2 grabs, eventually get it back. But you can see Nebula was kind of aiming for one of those delayed launches, which you also see from more and more teams these days, where they do have 1 stack, you know, heading out for the disc first, and then the second stack waits a couple seconds and then approaches the clear, basically, and tries to accommodate for wherever that disc goes. So one of those advanced rollouts, I suppose, that's interesting to see develop here in 4v4. Obviously, not quite as feasible to do in 3v3, although possible. All right, here, though, Late Toast. Looked like a probable goal, but you know what? It was stopped very well, but then on the rebound, Late Toast just staying in the same place and had the disc come to him. So that's 2 points now off of some disarray for Nebula.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
So Nebula up first here in this first minute. And appreciate anyone and everyone who's joining us here today on either of these channels. Of course, we do have over on VRML 1, Ignite versus Milk, I do believe, being casted by So Much for Subtlety and Sir Dimwee. And throughout the rest of the evening, too, we will continue to have a handful of games at play. In fact, we might even need to utilize VRML Channel 3 in the matches happening in about 40 minutes. So we'll have to see. Not for sure, but we'll see. But yeah, appreciate everyone spending their weekend with us, joining us on these streams. A lot of activity across the channels, across the games. A lot of great matches, too. Now Galaxy taking this one away. It'll be Flem looking for a pass, recognizing his man up in the middle, but couldn't quite get a handle on the disc. So Sweet Tooth finding a little avenue. 2 players there going for a punch, a bounce pass, a good dive from Flem, just to cause some more panic and disarray over on the offense, not letting them hold on to the disc for too long. But still retaining possession is Nebula. Kaznaz going for a deep 3 and almost saved. So Kaznaz making the shot. Flem at the last second looks like got a hand on it or a head on it, but it'll still be 3 points. So tough break for Flem on what otherwise was a good defensive set of plays the last 30 seconds or so. So now the aforementioned Flem will roll for a rollout here. Just taking a bad bounce off that Geo, kind of a tough angle, but otherwise a good variation in the rollout we could have seen there, those zipper rollouts, corner to corner. Flem in the goal. See if he can maybe put a stop to this again, but maybe don't even need to because of this disc getting loose. So good grab from Faircar. Gets the clear. But still on that stack, there's Sweet Tooth. And then right back again to Galaxy. So Galaxy now moving their way into the front line through mid area. Going to be contested, so sending a soft pass. Nicely done there. Contested hard, but still fortunate bounce over to Death Creeps. Death Creeps trying to get rid of that one, but couldn't meet the hands of a teammate, so a turnover will go to the opposite side as Flem takes us away. So Flem's doing a good job playing that back line and just being in the right place for some of these interceptions. That one just kind of going haywire off the shot. Kaznaz on the second attempt, but Flem again. There's a good grab from him. Continues to do some good work inside the goal there defensively. But just the same, Nebula really not relenting here because they keep getting these plays, these second and third, fourth attempts. Chocolate with contempt delivers a 7th point here for Nebula. But still, props to Galaxy because they are definitely making Nebula work harder for these goals. At the moment, 4 minutes in and only 7 points on the board for Nebula. They've had to take several attempts thanks to the cutoffs and the brawls that you're seeing from Galaxy. Now, in this instance, it will be one of those long rollouts, just missing the hands of his teammate. Late Toast playing that back line, getting the disc here. And some cluster forming. Now, Faircar, so he gets another grab. This is the second in a row. Oh, it dings on 2 different sides of the goal, post to post, but could not make the most of that shot. That is very tough because otherwise great look from Faircar and great grab on that steal. So still trying to collect. It's Late Toast again playing, the disc up front, getting it first and trying to dish that back pass again, or clear rather. Taken in the other end by Sweet Tooth and Chocolate. Always a dangerous duo going in for maybe a dangerous trio. Faircar will not miss that one, and that was a great look right dead center. 3 points for Galaxy. And again, Faircar coming through. First it was Flem Enthusiast earlier inside his own goal. With the saves, with the brawls, and then Faircar playing the mid lanes. He's getting all these steals that are resulting in good opportunities for Galaxy. So well done on their part. Maybe another turnover, in fact, being caused. So now Cyanide trying to eye the 3-point shot will just be a little astray, but maybe a chance at another one. But there you go. Again, the Galaxy defense not quitting here, still pressuring and playing right up and causing some disarray on the behalf of Nebula. See, between these two teams, they're very space-themed. Galaxy, Nebula can get confused if I'm not careful. But yeah, love to see it. Also, big fan of their logos. I know Nebula just updated their logo a few days ago. I think Kaznaz credits that. Right now, Chocolate going credit for the 2-point goal. So going in there. Little celebration just the same. Feeling good about that shot. So nice job from Chocolate, going up by 6 points now for Nebula. And the little celebrations. Not quite sure what dance that was, if that was a semi-thriller type thing or, I don't know, Monster Mash? Whatever it was. A good pass down here to Death Creeps, looking to go on the board now. A good clutch, double pump fake, whatever you want to call it. It was trouble for Nebula because they just got scored on. And now it's a 4-point game right back. And thus far, it's Death Creeps with 4 points. Faircar with a 3. So again, only 3 minutes left in this second round, but Galaxy really staying in this one and getting some goals on the board, causing some turnovers. Kaznaz and Nebula right now, though, again, a lot of their success today is just based on some great speed, rather. The team play with the grabs, the re-grabs, things like that. They're looking for these passes across. Chocolate there. Commentators cursed there, jinxed it because did not go for the pass and maybe as a result couldn't find the goal. Seeing if they can go for another attempt here. Sweet Tooth getting that one. Couple options, and that one looking for the pass, but this time too high. So right idea, not quite the execution, but if the historical accuracy is anything to go by, we're going to see Nebula finding a stack pretty quickly here, trying to get back on defense as Faircar just tries to break away and make sure no one's about to bother him on that offensive end. But yeah, instead will be cut off Faircar, I believe that was yet another grab. Or not Faircar, sorry, but that, oh, shot going through. Nebula trying to get back here on offense with a 2 in the goal for Galaxy. And Kaznaz does retain. So another one. Who else but Faircar again? That yet again, he's playing that midline with another turnover cause. Couldn't quite maintain the control of the disc, but still causing just a lot of panic and losing the disc for Nebula because of Faircar's mid lane play at the moment. Now Cyanide contesting along with Fair and getting it up to Death Creeps. The Death Creeps going to the tunnel, trying to space out, but no available avenues on the passing angles. His teammates both kind of below the Geo, so nowhere to really go with that disc, and has it taken away. Nebula trying to play up on that one. Kaznaz looking for a leech, perhaps. Couldn't really get a good one, but still his teammate covering for him on the other side, and now delivering a pass to Kaz. And Kaz going for that leader beautifully to Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth looking to anchor. One more pass and one more goal, and that is a great team play for Nebula. And that's what you want to see them do for sure, because on a few of these drives for Nebula, obviously all experienced and talented players on this team for them. But, some of these plays just kind of going for the head-on play where the goalies have time to stare them down and line up the saves and the punches, things like that, and not really opting to go for the cross pass when they have the option. So definitely want to see Nebula doing that more, and they did to buy them success on that one. Now, granted, they do miss a 3-point shot here, but still will retain based off the good speed. Slinging it out now. Sweet Tooth is there on the other side, as well as Late Toast. And Late Toast playing that back line for another one of those grabs and minor resets as they go to the front line. So here it goes to Sweet Tooth looking for maybe a dunking play. You can see Chocolate waving the arms up in the air for the pass, but couldn't get it. An anchored pass, an anchored shot. Not sure which it was, but Kaznaz will go in again. That is a beautiful delivery there, though, to Late Toast. Late in this game to close it out. 13 points to 5, and that will ultimately conclude this match. So, yeah, Nebula, the last couple goals they scored, then that was some very impeccable passing, especially that one from Kaznaz in the middle of so much traffic. Great delivery to buy themselves a goal. For Galaxy, they will fall in this game. However, still a great effort all around. They held Nebula to much lower scoring this time, and they scored more points on top of it themselves compared to round 1. You can see, round 1 was 22-2 in favor of Nebula. Meanwhile, round 2, 13-5, so much better turnaround for them in that game. Unfortunately, the rematch occurred there, the restart, so don't get a read on the stats for you, as they will be wiped, but hopefully you got that on stream. But yeah, so that will be the victory to Nebula. Everyone gathering here around Ness, waving, apparently calling for other players to come. Maybe I should unmute.
All right, everyone grab on to me.
Okay. Or sweet.
Group photo.
Not close. You'll see.
All right, come on. Faster. All right, grab on to me. No punches, dude. No punches. All right, wait, no.
There you go.
It was an X.
No,
Turn off all the UI for you.
All right. Oh my God. Who's happening? Who's doing that? Who's
Grab
that
on the
one
sweet.
person? Where's Sweet? Grab
I
on
don't know how to
me.
turn off those numbers. All right, well, anyways, I tried.
Grab on to
Go.
me. Grab on to me. Ready?
Oh, you're slowing down. Oh, there we go.
What even?
Let's go.
No, this. Oh, come on.
I don't know what I'm watching, but I like it. It's really entertaining here as something plays in my background. What's that? There we go. All right, well, anyway, sorry, I got distracted, okay? There was a lot of weirdness going on, but I'm not complaining here. That was fun to watch. Yes, so we do have more matches coming along soon-ish. I think we have about a 30-minute break, though. Let me check for you. And yeah, so beginning in about half an hour from now, we will see Instinct versus Illuminati on VRML Channel 1. That'll be casted by Sir Dimwee and So Much for Subtlety. And I'm not positive which one I'll be casting on Channel 2 here. We have Flare and Milk as well as Nay Plus Ultra and Guinness happening in half an hour as well. So 3 different matches we're going to organize, but yes, rest assured, we'll have at least 2 channels active. So 2 out of those 3 matches will be casted, and maybe all 3. Not positive yet. We'll see. Thunder Queen saying, I had a feeling Choco Lit would do that. Yeah, I try to be aware of when teams are going for those little post-game celebrations and fun things like that. It's entertaining to watch. Like to see that kind of lightheartedness and sportsmanship and all that good stuff. So yeah. Anyway, okay, we'll return you here to the score screen real quick just so you can get another look at some of the highlights and the final scores across the 2 rounds. Nebula taking that one away in the 2. And yeah, all right. So with that said, this has been VR Master League, final day of week 4. Join us again in the next half hour at the top of the hour for a variety of matches on a variety of VRML Twitch channels. Till then, I've been Palidore, and have yourself a good evening.